Yo, people, what's going on? This is the transfer deadline stream, the last half hour before the window closes. The window closes at 11, if I'm not mistaken, UK time. Uh, so let's go until the end of the window. We've signed three players. Arsenal are probably not going to sign another player. We've loaned out Lokonga. We've loaned out Cedric. Did we do anything else? I don't think so. Let me know what you guys rate the transfer window out of 10. We will get to that at the end. But now let's just get straight into some of the business. Big up Gunnar Souls. Big up my guy, Devo in the house. We got Nigerian Englishman who's going to be joining us very very soon, hopefully, and Wax. But for now, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get this show started. Yes, boys. Okay, so talk to me. Talk to me, guys. Where do we begin? Do we begin with Jorginho? Do we begin with Caicedo? Do we begin with Mudryk, Trossard? Like, what do we? This whole window. What do you make of it? Because there's been a lot of different moments. There's been the whole situation with getting Trossard from Mudryk, getting Jakub out of nowhere. There's just been so much different things going on. But talk to me, boys. What do you think of this window so far?
Bro, everybody that's been an Arsenal fan has said all season long the team is threadbare in the midfield and needs depth. You added that. Kiwior is a central defensive mid that also happened to play, fullback. So I think people are losing sight of the fact that he played central defensive mid for Spezia as much as he played, fullback for them. So that's potentially an investment in the spine of the team. I love the Jorginho move because I believe Arteta wanted him. Said he's a coach on. Hey, what up, Wax? Said he's a coach on the field, and also too, in bringing in Trossard, which we all saw just a slight glimpse. He's a baller. Love the fact that I think he'll infuse speed, pace, tactical ability, and some goals into the team. But with Jorginho, like I honestly think that if Arteta's pushing for him and wants another coach on the field to coach up the young people like ESR, to give tactical nuance and Champions League winning, knowledge to somebody like Odegaard, I'm all for it, man. It's 18 months. It's an 18-month contract. And yes, we didn't get Caicedo, but Brighton told us they're not going to sell their player. So if a team's got a player under contract for another 3 years, under no obligation financially to sell their player, we made three good faith bids. The team said no. You move on. You get what's available to you.
All right. What are you saying, Souls?
I'm going to be honest, I'm going to put a bit of a spin on it. My only problem with this transfer window is once again, Edu and Richard Garlick have shown again when a transfer gets tough, they can't do it. And that's my only sort of negativity that I'm going to put on this window because overall, I do think we did what we needed to do. But that's the one thing that's still kind of, it's a bugbear with me because we've now seen it in multiple windows, in multiple situations. They haven't been able to do it. And the thing is, right, and the other thing I want to say is I have a problem with fans questioning people like myself who want to question the club and certain decisions they're making. It's perfectly fine. You're on Twitter, which is a place to debate an opinion, to have conversations about whether you agree. Now, Jorginho, look, he's going to divide the fan base. He's very Marmite. Some people love him, some people hate him, some people don't know what to make of it. And if people are questioning it, saying, look, Edu, Arteta, Vinay, Josh have all come out and said, we're not going to be buying players over the age of 30. We're not going to be going for players of X caliber, etc., etc. This is our project. This is our plan. This signing goes against everything they told us they were going to do. So they're the problems I have with it. It's not necessarily the player quality. It's not about, whether I agree the player can come in and do a job. That's not the question that we're making. It's the question of, is everything they told us a PR spin to get us on board and then they can revert back to type? The pressure has always got to be on the club to perform. Just because we're on top of the league doesn't mean questions can't be asked. It doesn't mean that we can't sit here and go, we don't agree with certain decisions. Now that the negativity and a bit of a rant is out of the way, because I do think those questions are valid to ask and they're valid to bring up and to debate and have a conversation. It doesn't mean, look, I'm not asking for their heads. My solution has always been clear. I think Edu and Richard Garlick are fine. They just need someone to come in who has got the upper echelons experience. Richard Garlick comes from West Brom. He's never dealt with £80 million signings. He's never dealt with £90 million being on the table and being with the big dogs and Chelsea's, your City's, your Man United, people who are going to come in and go, right, that's the offer, here you go, and we're going to hijack your deal. So that's my solution that I'm putting forward. I'm not saying get rid, I'm just saying get someone in who's done that. And that's where Edu can learn from. That's where Richard Garlick can learn from. And maybe they do one day take over that. But in terms of Jorginho, I'm going to talk about the player now. I think it's a great signing. If I just look at, forget the age, forget player, forget, who, like, where he's coming from, and I just look from a profile standpoint, the more I look into it, I kind of understand why they went for it. He's one of the best lone six in his position in terms of controlling games and bringing control and just keeping a hold of the ball. When you look at his defensive numbers, I think they're quite fine for what we need. I think what the idea behind Jorginho is he's coming in to elevate what El Neni brought to the table, which is coming for the last sort of 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and just assure the game up. Because one thing we're doing this season, which is quite impressive, is how quick we're starting. We're beating teams in the first half. That's when you need a Jorginho. Let's say Party needs a rest. That's when you bring in a Jorginho who can just keep that 1-0 at 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 at 3-0. And that's what he's going to do. When you look at Kiwior, for example, he is a fantastic acquisition in terms of what he's going to be able to do to unlock Bukayo Saka. You're going to see a different game from Saka. Now, look, that doesn't mean he's going to displace Gabriel Magalhaes. It just means he's going to add to what he can bring. When he comes in and Saka are playing, the one thing everyone needs to watch out for is his vertical passes that he makes to the channels. They are going to be so vital when we're playing the low blocks, when we're playing teams that want to press on to us. Champions League football, you've got to have different dynamics. You've got to have different tactics to play. And even when you're looking at Europa League in the latter stages, that's where we fell down. Villarreal just tactically outsmarted us because the football that they play in Europe is a lot more calculated. And that's what we're looking to do. But when we bring in a Trossard brings such a different dynamic to what Martinelli's going to offer. I do think overall, when we take the negativity away and just look at what they are for what they are, I think we could have done better, but it's a solid January window.
Okay, let me just bring Wax into here. Wax, big up to you guys. Guys, make sure you don't forget to check out Wax's YouTube channel, Wax Online. I'm gonna make sure I put that in the description. Also, my guy Kunle is in the house. Also, don't forget to check out 1Touch TV in the house. I'm gonna make sure I put both their channels in the description. But Wax, take it away, bro. What do you think of the window so far?
I mean, it's a weird one, really. Frustrated, but happy at the same time, if you get what I mean. It's mad because at the beginning of the window, my focus was just, plugging the holes, making sure that we've got players to come in, qualified players to come in and, just be able to give us more depth and quality. The reason, and we've done that. That's why I'm happy. We've got Trossard, we've got, Jorginho, we've brought in Kiwior as well. So these are positions that we did need to fill. We needed a centre back, in my opinion. We needed a centre midfielder, and we definitely needed a winger. Could have got a striker, but it is what it is. Where I'm frustrated is the targets. Being linked with Mudryk, being linked with Felix, prioritizing Casido, all of these type of things. And it's not just this window; it's the previous windows as well. But prioritizing these players and not being able to get them done. And I kind of echo what Sulz was saying, kind of going into these negotiations and just kind of coming across incompetent in getting these deals done, not being able to structure the deals, not being able to put the right money down on the table. I mean, it's rare to see, teams over a number of deals have to go back and forth, one bid, two bid, three bid, and then pull out or not get the deal done or whatever it is. The player decides to go and join someone else. I mean, that's the frustration for me. And I feel like, if you've got targets, you've identified the players that you want, you've been monitoring the players for a number of time, like Mudryk as an example. I mean, these are players that you need to do everything you can to get done, in my opinion. You shouldn't be allowing these players to walk off and go into Chelsea. And that's happening quite a lot of the time with Arsenal. And then we're then turn into these other players, which clearly ain't a part of the plan. These are just panic buys. Like, yeah, cool, Jorginho and Trossard are improvements. They add, like I said, to what we're doing at the moment. But they weren't a part of the plan. And we keep getting told about this clear plan. Oh, we've got a clear plan with this, with that. And I feel like we're just being misled. We're being misled to believe one thing and then another thing is happening. So I think it's kind of boiling down to clearly Richard Garlick and Edu not being able to, get these deals over the line. When it, like Sulz was saying, when it comes to big money, Richard Garlick is struggling. He's used to dealing with smaller budgets. And that's definitely letting us down when it comes to getting these big deals done, man. So, yeah, I mean, if I'm going to rate the window, I'm going to probably give the window a 6. And that's just based on the fact that we didn't get any player that we actually wanted to get.
Unless Kiwior turns in to be that diamond in the rough signing.
Yeah, no, of course.
I honestly think that there's quality because I don't know how many of us watch Serie A, especially low-level Serie A with Spezia, but that kid in the World Cup with Poland was impressive.
Yeah. You know what? To be fair, doing the eye test on Kiwior, and I'm not familiar with him, but since we signed him, I've checked out a number of highlights, and he does look like a really good, aggressive centre back. He plays the ball out from the back really, really well. Like Sol said earlier, he's got a great pass in him. He can switch play and set up attacking moments. So we definitely got a quality player there. Of course, we have to reserve judgment until we see him play in the Premier League. It's a different competition over here, but. Yeah, man, I'm just a bit disappointed at the players that we didn't get. I was looking forward to seeing Mudryk, man. He looks like an electrifying player. Definitely would have changed a number of things at Arsenal in terms of how we get the ball into the final third. And I think he would have been giving us so much more than what we currently have. And and the other person
was that deal right? I mean, like honestly though, like there's just something about
what it
that
is?
feels fishy to me, man. It seems like we were in for the same amount of money. Was it just they were willing to put it all?
Basically, they offered the player more money.
No,
more money. He agreed to terms with us.
If you look at
not entirely.
If you look at what the director said, the director's come out and spoken about the situation. He basically said that they wasn't happy with the way Arsenal tapped Mudryk up. He wasn't happy with that. So that was one thing that kind of led them to feel like, you know what, maybe we're not going to do business with Arsenal. We'd rather do something with someone else because that's a bit. But anyway, what they said was the overall reason for why they accepted Chelsea's offer is because Chelsea's offer was more serious. Chelsea's offer come with realistic bonuses. Arsenal's didn't come with they come with unrealistic bonuses. So I'm trying to think, well, what could unrealistic bonuses be? Maybe
goals, appearances, and
Ballon d'Or.
Winning the Ballon d'Or award.
Yeah, maybe paying you
season.
I don't know. But that's basically what the director said anyway.
Yeah. Okay, because that was my question. Because nothing about that deal felt right. And then you mentioned Felix, and I don't mean to cut you off, but a 20 million, I say dollars, but let's say an 18 million pound loan for a player at a position which we have
before
covered.
we go to Felix, let me bring 1Touch in because he's been a little quiet. And people in the chat, do me a favor, make sure you do hit that like button. And if you have any questions, chuck it in. Let's get today. We're just having a dialogue, having open conversation. There's no screen sharing or nothing. So just make sure you get whatever questions you have, throw it in. Kunle, how you feeling? You love Trossard. You've been wanting Arsenal to sign Trossard for a long time. You're probably one of the happiest guys on this stream right now. Because if you guys don't know, two people he's been backing this whole 2-3 windows. These last couple windows has been Trossard and Zaha, and we got one of your guys. So you must be smiling.
Oh yeah, now my people. It's your dark-skinned man from the motherland. If you didn't know before, tonight you go understand. Big up, everyone. And you know what? I'm happy. I'm not excited though. I said I'm happy, but I'm not excited because what I said I wanted this window is like we need 3 players. I said we needed a midfielder, a winger, and a striker. Those would have been the ideal 3 for me. But what has happened is we've got 3 players. Trossard, as you said, I'm happy with because Prem proven, can play it all across the front three. He gives us different options to like a Martinelli. He's a little bit more intricate with the ball, where Martinelli is a bit more explosive. I'm not upset with the Mudryk thing, and not because I don't think he's a talent. It's because if you're quoting them type of figures for like a Rafael Leao, then I'm pissed that we didn't get him. Do you get what I'm saying? 80 million for a Mudryk, for me, that doesn't get me too pissed off, because for me, he's not done anything in football, period, to warrant that figure. So I'm not upset with that. What I am upset with is we clearly knew that we needed a cover for Partey the end of the summer window, but yet we're still chasing a man and the final day of the January window. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, the Caicedo thing could have been sorted out first week of Jan. Like, okay, Brighton could have told us he's not available.
Out first week of Jan.
No, do you know what I'm saying?
Because there's no clear plan. That's why.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Brighton could have told us the start of January that he's not for sale, then we could have potentially worked on some other DMs for the next 3 weeks, rather than up until the last day, we're still in hope that we might get Caicedo. Because if we got Caicedo, I'm not going to lie to you, for me, we won the league, bro. We won the league with him, because he can complement Partey, he can come in for Partey. For me, we'd won the league. So that's what I'm pissed about. But it took me a couple of hours, let me not lie, to digest this Jorginho thing. Let me not lie. Like, my first thought was, what the heck have these guys gone and done? Are these guys crazy? I was planning to fly from Lagos all the way to London to slap up Eddie, man. It was mad. But I've digested it now. And as much as I don't like it, I can see some of the pluses it does bring, because he's a proven winner at the end of the day. He's calm on the ball. He provides us with something a little bit different, and nobody on this panel, I'm not having it if anyone on this panel tells me he's worse than El Neni or Lokonga. So towards the business end of the season, his calmness and coolness might be very important to us. Although Caicedo wins us the league, no guarantee, no questions asked in it. So.
Real quick. I got a question for you. We only see the results on Saturday and Sunday. So we're only going to see what happens. Now, a player like Jorginho that Arteta explicitly asked for and sanctioned the transfer and wanted, does that not come across at 31 years old as a winner on the levels that you said? Does that not come across as somebody that Arteta may be bringing in, to coach up the young kids, Miguel Aziz, Emile Smith-Rowe? Like Charlie Patino. That's my biggest point. Is Charlie?
I think Patino, contract.
Charlie Patino's promotion to the first team is not blocked by this move, and I think that's the biggest win that nobody's going to talk about.
I think what you have to realize is whatever DM we brought in wasn't going to block Charlie Patino. That's the reality. They play different positions.
Yeah, facts.
What I'm looking at this deal as, the contract length is what makes me okay with this deal. I think every single one of us here would be upset if we signed a 4-year deal. What did Willian get? 4 years?
Yeah, something stupid like that.
Stupid like that, yeah.
4 years, 200K a week. Does anyone know how much he's making? Because if I'm not mistaken, he's making less than 150, if I'm not mistaken. And he was only on 110 at Chelsea.
No, but Igal, my only issue with this Jorginho thing is
Sorry, we lost you.
Yeah, we're losing you.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
You're back.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
So, the thought of Xhaka and Jorginho at the base of our midfield is scary for me. It's a bit scary.
I just don't think they'll ever play together.
No, but do you know what it is, right? I think a lot of it's being blown out of proportion because of, and I've done this, by the way, I hold my hands up, and I'm one of those fans who, when I first heard the links of Jorginho, was like, this has never worked. Chelsea over 30 years just never worked coming to Arsenal.
I was there too.
The one thing I overlooked, and I can hold my hands up and say, when you calm down, when that sort of head loss moment goes, we're in a different situation. We're top of the league. I'm not bringing that into an excuse that, we can't question anything they do. But we are on top of the league. We're playing a lot better. We've got a system for this player to come into. And the one thing that I can't doubt, every signing has had a plan, whether it's a plan we agree with or not. Like, for example, a lot of people, dug out a lot of us when I said it from the beginning. Ben White and Tomiyasu have not been bought for their positions. They're going to switch positions in the future. And I said, Tomiyasu is always going to be a centre-back for us. And people are like, nah, but look at him playing at right-back. And this is the difference now. Yes, Thomas Partey and what Jorginho are going to do, they're going to be completely different DMs. And the way they operate and the way they play is going to be completely different. But sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need a plan B, plan A. And the way that we play in Thomas Partey is so vital to it that he that position can change the game. You know, like when you say you've got a plan A, plan B striker, you've got like a Gabriel Jesus, and then bring in, let's say, an Oliver Giroud on, or like a Weghorst or something like a target man that can change a game. This is going to do the same. This can, take a game away from the opponents. The FA Cup, perfect example. A game that kind of fell away from us and we lost control in the second half, in my opinion. And City kind of started getting back into it. Imagine Jorginho came on. The control will flip straight back to us because the one thing he's going to offer us is complete control in midfield. And that's the situation difference. Willian came into a toxic environment and he's a toxic player. That's not a match that you really want to have.
I said he's a toxic player,
Sorry, who's the toxic player?
Willian.
Yeah. Before we go any further, I'm going to just talk about two things. People keep mentioning Enzo. Do you think the fact that Chelsea's splashing the cash the way they are is making us more inclined to say, you know what, we should have done more, we should have done more?
No, Chelsea is inflation. Chelsea is inflation, bro.
No, bro. I rate it. I fucking rate it. You come in and you exploit the European laws. Come on now. I have to mad respect. This is what I mean, man. We need to get these kinds of Americans in that just know how to find the grey holes, loopholes in every system, man.
On the business side, yeah, I rate it, but I still think Chelsea fans are in for at least 3 to 4 years of pain, man. As much as it's exciting, 3 to 4 years of pain. I'm telling you,
because they had a summer window. They literally just had a summer window. Bro. They signed 50 players.
I hear all of that, but I think I saw Igal on Terrace earlier. He was talking about how are these players gonna gel? Like, how many of them even respect a Graham right now? I don't know, man. I'm not sure if it's gonna gel real quick. I think Bowley's gonna figure it out, no doubt about that in my mind. But I think
I honestly don't
maybe 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years, they're gonna feel some pain.
1 second. I don't actually care about how Chelsea do. I'm just asking you guys: do you feel like the Enzo signing and them signing Mudryk more than Enzo is what is really making Arsenal fans feel like, you know what, this was a poor window? We're looking over at Chelsea, who are in 10th, and looking at what they're doing.
Nah, bro. Nah, it's nothing to do with that. It's just the fact that we've clearly known. The whole fan base have known since summer, let alone January, that we need DM cover, a proper DM to come in to replace Partey. And we've only really been strongly linked with Caicedo or January. That's what we're pissed about. Like, I understand Brighton even telling us no. I get it, because, I mean, how many of their stars they're just going to keep saying yes to? But my issue is, sort that out first week of Jan, so you have 3 weeks to figure out plan B properly, rather than this last minute Jorginho. As much as it could be good for us, and there's loads of pros for it, the way it's been done out of nowhere is just, that's what's frustrating the fan base, I think. But I'm still happy with us signing 3 players this January because we needed the bodies nevertheless.
Okay,
I think people have whiplash from the year that last.
We need to get onto this. I want to know how much people here think Edu should be replaced. Where he's a problem. Okay. So
he's part.
People are just exaggerating.
I think it's kind of harsh to be constantly on Edu.
No.
It's not. It's not. I'm going to be honest, it's not.
Talk to me then. What's up?
I think everybody,
if we look at every single, let's talk about the successful signings first. Not one of them was negotiated, bar maybe Odegaard and maybe Ramsdale. But even like the only one is Odegaard, because we managed to get it from 50 million to 30 million by playing poker face and just waiting the window out. And Real Madrid were like, fine, you can have him for 30 million. That's the reason that happened. But when I'm looking at consistent failures in negotiations, it's not just on Eddie, by the way. This is what I want to pivot onto. Richard Garlick's the man behind the scenes structuring a lot of these deals, and that's the reason we don't know. Eddie's the face of the transfers, and Richard Garlick's the man behind the scenes doing the finances. The thing is, whether we sack him or whether we bring someone in, like, I know you've said in the private chat, like a Raul Sanelli, not him, not a corrupt person, but someone who's got a bit about them and he can conduct his business properly, no underhand deals and stuff, but has a Rolodex and connections within the bigger upper echelon clubs. Like, no disrespect, I know Eddie as a player, so, he's a decorated player, he's done a lot in the game of football, but his connections to the top teams and the presidents and the owners of clubs and agents isn't quite there. He needs someone to support him who can cover that side of the business. So I don't know whether it's sack Edu or whether you just bring someone in, but something in that room and something in the transfer dealings has to change for us to, because don't forget, to maintain this top spot, we can't keep doing the 30 million signing. But
Sulz,
we've got to.
You see the players that we've missed out on, like, for example, Vlahovic. From me, I don't know about you lot, as I knew we weren't getting him from when Juve went involved with him. I knew that. So I'm not upset at that one. Felix, 20 million for a loan. For me, a guy that's not excelled in football for the last 2 years in terms of performances-wise, I didn't want to take a chance on him in the Premier League personally, although people are telling me he looked good in that little cameo for the Fulham game, which is all good and well, but the money didn't make sense. Caicedo, I'm upset at when we made our bids, not that we missed out on him, because if we had just made our bids earlier, we would have had more time to maybe focus elsewhere. Like 80 million for Caicedo is bonkers, guys. Let's be honest, isn't it? That's nuts.
It really is.
It's nuts. But if we had done it, would I have closed my eyes like this? Of course, I would have closed my eyes. Yes, but like you know what I'm saying, it's one of them ones.
What is the bigger miss? The Caicedo miss or the Mudryk miss? Or are you just upset about both?
I'm upset we didn't get a proper DM cover. I'm not upset missing out on any of those big signs because Mudryk ain't worth 80 million for me, and neither is Caicedo.
You know what it is? You see, earlier when I was saying upset, right, or frustrated, it's not even the fact that we didn't sign Mudryk. I don't care about Mudryk. If anyone watches my streams, you will know that I've never been a real advocate for Mudryk. Of course, watching him on the eye, he does look electrifying. He does look really good, and based on what he has been doing so far over the past 6 months, you can only assume that he would come in and improve what we're doing. However, what I'm frustrated at is that you go out of your way to tap the Don up, you make him twerk online, you get him watching your games, you get him all doing that just to let him go and sign for Chelsea. Are you a mug? Do you have mug written on your forehead? If the player was too expensive, you would have known that from the get-go. Don't go all of this length back and forth to make yourself look like an idiot in business, because no one's going to want to deal with you. And when they do deal with you, you're going to get bumped.
Yeah, you're right.
You're going to get bumped. And it's the same process that Arsenal have been dealing with even since last year summer. Lisandro Martinez, Rafinha, all of these players that we've put 1 bid in, 2 bid in, 3 bid in, and then we pulled out. What are you doing? Stop doing that. If you want a player, he's the player that's right for the system, go and get the player. And that's what frustrates me. And it's just a regular occurrence from Vlahovic to Bruno Guimaraes to Lucas Paqueta. Come on, how many times are we going to do it? And then you come out and think wheeling at Trossard and wheeling at Jorginho is good enough. Come on, don't take the piss. We're top of the league. We're not 5th. If we were 5th and we're trying to sign these Dons, I'd be happy. I'm like, yeah, we're trying to push for top 4. Trossard, yeah. We're top of the league, bro. You think Liverpool, their man, are going to be sitting there top of the league trying to ensure they're going to win, trying to ensure they want to win the league by signing these type of Dons? No, come on.
But Wax, don't you rate Trossard?
No, I rate him. No, I rate him. But you know what it is? It's like
you're tired of
being for being top of the league. We should be going for
you know what it is? Me and Wax are just tired of settling. That's the problem. Like Jorginho's a settle. We settle for Trossard. We settle. Well, Kiwior, okay, fair enough. Whatever, he is what he is, right? But we're settling constantly for players. When we have a plan A, it's rare that they've gone to us and gone, we're gonna get this player, and got him. It's rare that we see it. That's my issue.
Right.
Now, who's to blame? I don't know.
Chelsea are not having that problem. They want Enzo Fernandes, they're going to get him. They want Mudryk, they're going to get him. They want whoever they want, they're going to get. They're not pulling out. When have we heard? What big team do you hear? They don't want to be bullied in paying more. Come on, listen to the narratives that they put out for Arsenal Football Club. They don't want to be. They don't want to be bullied into paying more money than they have to pay. when is that narrative ever used for any other top 16? Never.
Man City.
And
When?
it happened today with Fiorentina, and who was the player for that Fiorentina?
Man City for Cucurella.
Man City for Cucurella?
Yeah, they said
they wouldn't pay 60
or whatever.
Okay, my bad. But it's like
No, but I hear what you're saying in general. We need to sometimes just flex. Like, just flex on a man. Like,
Man City is a perfect example of both paradigms. Right? They spent 100 million.
Does anybody here have a problem with Arsenal spending 100 million on a player if he does well? No, right? Am I wrong? No one cares if he does well. The thing is, what I agree with in a certain aspect is that we don't want to look like a dick and just start paying 100 million, 50 million, 60 million on every single player. Imagine this Trossard deal right now. We got it done for a reasonable amount. Imagine the next deal we wanted to do with Brighton for Caicedo. If we agreed 100 something million for Caicedo, now when we go to West Ham for Declan Rice, they're going to say 120. And are we going to just pay it? Or are we going to be in a situation where we're now?
I mean, it's about how you prioritize your signings, isn't it? Like, if you see Caicedo as a guy that's going to super improve your team, and that's what you need, that's the final piece of the puzzle, you spend whatever you have to. It doesn't matter.
But Wax, look on the flip
right
side.
Player.
On the flip
On
side,
the right player, exactly. But if you see Caicedo as that right player,
but look at it this way, right? With the Caicedo thing, we've apparently got a very good record of Brighton, is what I've been hearing over this last couple of weeks, right? So maybe we said, you know what? These men are really not on selling this guy. Go back for him in the summer. And I'm also thinking further down the line when people, I don't know, Mitoma's looking a little bit tasty right now. There might be a moment where we want to pick him up as well. So we would need to have good relationships with these men for certain situations in the future. And Brighton are on course to get their first European position. So I get why they said no. But again, just like everyone's saying, why didn't we just do this earlier so we don't have these issues now? Do you get
it? It's so weird as well.
Officially closed. I just want to point this out. Now that the transfer window is officially closed, let's just look back at the window, the chaos of the window. I'm gonna just point out some things. There was a moment where we looked like we were going to sign Mudryk. There was a moment where we looked like we're not going to sign no defensive midfielder at one point. I was worried, right? Then there was also a moment where we were linked to a right back, Ivan Fresneda. We didn't end up getting him.
Yeah, some random shit.
We were linked to Bamba. We were linked to Ashraf during the World Cup. We were linked to what's his name? The Ashrafat guy. What's his name? From
Amrabat.
That was the one from Fiorentina.
We were linked to friggin' all these different players.
Kudus.
Zaha. We were linked to
Kudus.
What's his name? Diaby from Musa.
Yeah,
Diaby. There was so many players we linked to. We after all of that stuff, we finished the window with Jorginho, a defensive midfielder who's not similar to Partey but different. A left-footed center back. Even though we were linked to Evan Ndikia and it looked like he was going to join, we never got him.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then now we also got Trossard. So based on the window, we wanted a winger, we got it. We didn't even think we were going to sign a defender. We ended up getting a left-footed center back who can also play DM. And we've gotten a central defensive midfielder in Jorginho. That's 3 players. If I told you guys January 1st, give me how many players do you think Arsenal will sign? I don't think any of you guys would have said we were going to sign 3 players.
The maddest thing is Sulz. I think I told you on when we done our show a little while ago that we were going to sign 3 players, right? But Matt, anyway, like,
did you?
Real quick though, wasn't Indica a Bozeman signing for the summer because he's only got 6 months left at Frankfurt?
Yeah, I was going to say that as well.
Apparently, we're going to do it in January, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, but I understand that he was talking about summer. He was talking about a summer move. So I just wanted to clarify because I know he's still on the table for us.
Okay.
Nah, but we don't do it now. We got this Polish guy though.
Wax predicted 3 signings, but did any of you guys think we were going to leave with a winger and a defensive midfielder?
I thought 1 was the best I could hope for, to be honest.
I
wanted to.
Honestly, based on reading the reports and based on what's being said from the summer up until now, I actually thought we were going to get a winger and a midfielder regardless. Like, I thought that was going to be the case. Like,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because once Mudryk was done, and then it was on to Trossard, and we moved. That's where I can say we moved quickly on a player that yes he wanted out, and that those wheels had been greased, but we've all seen it's.
But why weren't we doing that same shit with Caicedo? I don't get it.
Because he was never for sale.
Ah.
Caicedo was under contract until 2026 with Brighton.
Bro, everyone has a price. We
You
just
say
didn't want to
that.
pay it.
It's so weird though. It's so weird though that we went in with a bid and then they told us that he's not for sale, but then we still went in with a second bid. That's what the media
are off.
That's
And because if I come to you and I say, hey man, I really want to buy your house, and your house is 400,000 quid, and I say, all right, I'll give you 395,000 quid, and you pay half the closing costs, and you come back at me and you say, nah man, I need you to pay what I asked for, and I say, all right, cool man, I'll do that deal. That's just negotiation. Like you gotta have we can't just go in like he was saying and be chumps and be like Chelsea and be like, I'm sorry, that's a chump move to go in and go, yeah, 130 million.
Chelsea are moving mad. Chelsea are basically saying, how much do you want? You say, how much is your house? 400,000?
Okay, I'll give you 450,000.
I'll give you 400,000. On the day of closing, they pay you 300. and then you tell them fuck off. And then that's what Chelsea's doing. But let's get back to this whole thing. My point was, you guys are not okay with settling. But at the same point, can you admit that this is different from what we've been doing in the past?
Yes, because we're top of the league.
And we actually got players in January, which is rare.
Yes, and everyone has whiplash from the year
is that a bad thing to be happy about that?
Nope.
It's not about we're not happy or we're not. It's just for me. I don't want this to become the precedence when we're settling constantly because the pattern is repeating itself. My problem isn't that we got. I like the window, by the way, and I've said it. I credit the window. It's best of what we could have done. Obviously, I know there was Mudryk and whatever, but from the moves that have happened this window, it's all right. Like, okay, we've got the job done. Now let's go win the league. But my problem is if that Declan Rice deal, because that's been harping on for a very, very long time, if that doesn't get done, I'm asking questions of Richard Garlick and Edu, because how many big transfers are you going to fuck up before you leave? Because
no, but wait,
at some point there has to be a question, man. I'm sorry, I'm not this fan that's going to be stupidly positive and never ask a question just because we won the league. Because to maintain that, you've got to be ruthless. Do you think Man City are going to look at us winning the league and go, let them do it again? Yeah, you got to find your players.
Man City,
they're going to come in and bang
a bigger window, this upcoming window than Chelsea. They're looking at Jude Bellingham, Maddison, and who was the other person? Leao. They're trying to do a
madness. That's mad, and Leao's just refused the contract for AC Milan, so it's a bit technical.
I mean, these are the moves that Arsenal should be making, but it's like with Richard Garlick and Eddie driving the bus and driving these negotiations, do you expect them to make those type of moves? Like, because that's another reason why you do.
But wait, who would you lot rather, Caicedo or Rice, if you had to choose? By the way, I'm quite curious.
Yeah, I'll probably take Rice. Yeah,
swear down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh,
Rice can do many different things.
Like what can Rice do that Caicedo can't do?
Be huge.
Think
about it's a size thing.
Caicedo.
No, but his heart is enough to get him through that.
The difference between Rice and Caicedo is, I feel like Rice can play both positions, 8 and 6. Where I don't look at Caicedo like that.
I think you can do both too, bro. That's what I'm saying. I think you can do both too.
You know what it's for me? It's because Declan Rice is English. I'm being biased. Declan Rice is English.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Wax too. If you look at somebody like Thomas Partey and compare him to N'Golo Kante, completely different size players, completely different style, but play the same position. You could still say that, like, I mean, I can't. That's like saying I like them both.
Yeah. I hear you.
I'd like to have them both in my squad.
People in the chat, let me know. Who would you rather have, Declan Rice or Caicedo? People in the chat right now, quickly, let us know.
200
Let's see what you guys think.
But what I've been hearing is that we are looking to go in for both, though, which would be a freaking dream.
Both now.
It would be a dream, but
Jorginho put to bed the Caicedo move. The Caicedo move is never going to happen again.
I don't know.
He'll probably go to Chelsea, man.
Now, hey, guys, real quick, there's two things that we haven't even touched on that I think are some of the biggest benefits to the squad, and they were subtractions via loan. I think Marquinhos going to Norwich to play as much football as possible is huge. And I think if Sambi Lokonga can't learn from Patrick Vieira, then he needs to get the fuck out. Because if that dude can't be a sponge from one of our all-time legends and open up his brain to unlock the nuances of the game from Patrick fucking Vieira, then he needs to jog on. But I hope that he goes there and he pulls a Saliba.
Same here, bro.
You know, turns into a monster.
He's gonna smash it at Palace, man. He's a
I
Palace.
pray, man.
He
Because
looks
there
like
is
a
a player
man
somewhere.
baller, bro. He's a man type baller, bro. I'm telling you.
Look, he's gonna love life at Palace. But you know who's gonna have the best loan out of
Full
everybody?
man them.
Marquinhos is gonna have the best loan out of everybody.
He's going to score goals and buckets for Norwich, and it's going to be.
Yeah, he should destroy it.
That kid's.
You know what? I think you hit the nail on the head. I think the loan moves that we got away from the club with Marquinhos and Lokonga raised the window for me by like 1 point.
Yeah, Omar Rekic's move as well. That's a top move to make.
Where's he?
He's gone to Wigan. He's gone to Wigan. The only problem with that is that they're in turmoil right now. They've gone on like a 9-10 game losing streak.
Oh, for real?
Sacked their manager. They had They gave him 9 games and sacked him.
Kolo, why did he go there? Why did Kolo go there, man? I don't know why he does that.
Yo, look at this. Look at this. People are saying go get Camavinga or Caicedo.
Now, that was a move that we were linked to. That was a move that we were linked to that I had heard some rumors about.
I didn't even entertain it for a second.
I believe
Camavinga would have been beautiful.
I believe my tweet started that Camavinga rumor. I don't believe that shit makes any sense. First of all, they're not getting rid of him. They're not going to do nothing. Real Madrid are going to try to give Camavinga to Dortmund for a swap deal for Jude Bellingham or something. But most people in the chat are saying both, or they're picking Rice. I don't really see too much people picking Caicedo besides John. But let's go back to the window. Now that the window's done, what do we actually rate the window? And going out of this window, have we strengthened enough for you guys to say, you know what, we're more comfortable in winning the league? Or are you in the same situation? Because for me, we're in a better situation with Trossard, Jakub. And even though Jorginho is not our first choice or any of our first choices, he is an adequate Premier League proven winner that can come in and play and do a job.
It's mad how we're saying that he's not our first choice when he holds more weight than any of our centre midfielders in terms of like honours and medals and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's crazy, isn't it?
So, Wax, do you rate Jorginho?
I mean, I like him. I mean, he's similar to Xhaka, in my opinion. I do like him because I think mentally he's on it. He's a very passionate player. He's a captain, so he's got those leader qualities, and I think that inevitably is just going to rub off on our younger players. Do you know what I mean?
Monday through Friday. That.
But him and Caicedo would have been a phenomenal window, bro. We shut it down 10 out of 10. That would have been a 10 out of 10. Him and Caicedo.
So my question to everyone here: what do you rate the window? I rate the window. I originally had it at a 6. Okay. I look at the loans; it brings it up to a 7 or 6.5 for me.
I've got it as max. I've got it as a 7.5.
7's max.
I've got it as a 7.5. I got it as a 7 for the players out. I got it as or for players in, and I got it as a 10 for the players out. And that, basically I put a little bit more weight on the players in. So about a 7.5. I know Jorginho wasn't everybody's first choice, but I'm telling y'all, Monday through Friday on the training pitch, he's going to be worth every single dollar to the Odegaards, to the ESRs, to the players that we have coming up through the ranks. You bring in a UCL winner, it's only going to rub off.
Euros winner, Europa League winner, Champions League winner. We're bringing a winning mentality.
Ballon d'Or top 5 now.
To be honest, though, it would be interesting seeing Jorginho in the 8 role where Xhaka's playing and seeing him, Odegaard, Zinchenko, and Thomas Partey all kind of linking up. Like what that kind of
I'm excited to see.
Yeah,
that's Xhaka and Jorginho that scares me.
Our bench is different. Guys, look at our bench now. Look at our bench. Yeah. We're gonna have Jorginho and Trossard on the bench as first names to come off the bench with ESR whenever he's fit. He's fit. God knows. Eddie Nketiah when he goes to the bench and Jesus comes back, or Jesus on the bench. That's another option. We can actually say we will have legitimate class ballers on the bench.
Yeah, so that's why for me, Igal, I made this statement, and I have to follow through now. I made the statement, like I think November or October. I said, if Arsenal make 2 to 3 signings in Jan, and we're top of the league by at least 5 points, then I'm saying we're winning the league, innit? That's what I said to myself.
So are we winning
And
the
look,
league?
here we are. Look, here we are. But they might have not been the 3 that I wanted, but I wasn't specific about who I wanted. So we're winning the league, guys. Remember you heard it first. We're winning the league.
What's our
Wax,
point
are
total?
you there?
What's our point total? Hold on. What's our
I mean,
point?
Bro, I don't know, man. I don't care, man. Just win the league, man.
Just win the league. Just win the league. The maddest thing is I said at the beginning, I said on Football Terrace, like at the beginning of the year, the beginning of the season, based on the first 5 performances that I saw, plus the 2 last games of preseason against, I think it was Sevilla and whoever it was, I said, based on those performances, if we can continue like that, we're winning the league. We're winning the league just based on those performances. We look so fired up. We look like you could just tell in those first 5 performances that this is a different type of Arsenal. So I was kind of confident based on those type of performances. Now we've got to this stage where points in front, we've added more depth to the team. You know, you can only, brother, I only see it going one way, brother. I only see it going the Arsenal way. Honestly, I feel like we've got this. I feel like we've got this league, man. Like the only team that I actually fear in this current league is Newcastle. They're the only team. I think Newcastle's the only team. Yeah, out of all the teams, bro, because they've got the best defensive record, and the way they attack and the way they play football in general is just on the next level. So they're the only team that I feel like Arsenal probably will drop points against. Everyone else, I reckon we're...
Yeah, that Newcastle away is going to be a spicy one, you know, because we do own, but we have... I think we've got payback on everyone that's dunked on us, so they're due one. They're due one.
Literally.
I'm fearful of that stupid February month that we always have. You know, where we lose to Brighton and, you know, Crystal Palace at home, and it just I'm not saying this year, but we always have that one 3-game run where something dips, and it's not against the big boys. It's against the games where we're looking forward to that Man City.
The games you expect to win, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm hoping, bringing in a Jorginho and bringing in a Trossard, you know, and pairing it with what we've got. You know, I think Odegaard has been the player of the season this year for the team. So, and with Jesus coming back, I honestly think you've got the strength to do it, and now you've got the players that have done it to motivate those who maybe like Zinchenko, Jorginho, Jesus. Let's fucking roll. You know, like those dudes have to be able to lead.
Now that bench is looking spicy now. I'm not gonna lie.
Can I show you guys the bench? Because this is what the bench is gonna be. Mykhailo is gonna go to the bench and he's gonna see these names. Where's Jorginho, by the way? Okay, he's not there, but I'm gonna add him in a second. But you got these names.
You can drop out Reece Nelson, bro. I'm all right.
Yeah, Reece is done.
Drop out.
What's going on? What's happened to Reece?
Remember, he tore his thigh muscle.
As in, like, even if he hadn't tore his thigh muscle,
okay.
Like, just
who's going to be on the bench out of Eddie and Jesus? Most likely, it's just one of them. I'm not really too particular.
I mean, Eddie will go back.
Eddie, man.
But he's proven to me he can come on and play at any time.
Yeah, he can definitely play a role.
If you have rotation there, that's great.
Okay. So you have Trossard, Eddie Nketiah, Fabio Vieira, Emil Smith-Rowe, Jorginho, Tomiyasu, Rob Holding, Jakub, Tierney, and Matt Turner.
That's a solid bench, bro.
It's a solid bench. That's a team that finishes mid-table, bottom of the mid-table, but they don't get relegated. That team doesn't get relegated.
Nah, that like if we had that bench when we played Newcastle at the Emirates, we win that game potentially because we got options like the Trossards or the ESR. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm looking at that bench and I'm saying to myself, massively. Don't forget about Jesus. I know, man. Jesus is massive for us. Jesus is massive for us.
But when's he due back, by the way, guys? Is anyone?
He was saying a month. Apparently, he was on the sideline.
He's going to be back in about 15 days, they're saying.
Yeah, he's off crutches and running, like light jogging, but back.
He's determined to be back before the 15th. I'll tell you that, mate.
Yeah, he wants to play that game. When's the return leg? When's the Etihad?
April 25th, right?
Yeah,
so he'll definitely be back.
Literally 3 days after my birthday. We actually play on my birthday. My birthday is the 22nd. Who we got on my birthday? We've We've got Southampton, so hopefully we can get
So,
a win.
Hey,
if
back.
we lose, I'm
Points.
flooding you with messages back if we lose that one. Man.
No, but fellas, like I think let's talk about Lokonga, because like that's one that we all kind of are saying like he's either got to this has got to be it for him, right?
No, it has to be. He's not
I mean,
a young boy. Man.
Lokonga doesn't do well on this loan, I think the club are definitely going to move away from him. But before we do that, I want to get everyone's take on if they think we're going to win the league and what's your rating, because I didn't get Gunnar Sol's rating. I didn't get U2's rating either in Wax and Kunle.
My rating of the transfer window, just because of the as you said, the loan moves has brought up to a 7 for me. It would have been a 6 otherwise. Because of the loans, a 7.
I think Wax, you already said yours was a 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about you, Gunnar Solz?
Do you know what? I said even if we don't sign anyone, you can engrave that Premier League title with the Arsenal name on it. Now that we got 3 players and it's a 10-10. Look, I'm telling you, Haaland said to us he's hunting us down. I said it before the transfer window opened. Yeah, Haaland said he wants to hunt us down, try and stop us. Big man, I dare you. I dare you, fam. Robert Holding came from Turkey and put you in his pocket, fam. His hair follicles are growing. Man was not stressed. His hair transplant is even more of a success now. Man was growing more hair, not losing it. You know
but Rob roughed him up.
No. You know when you watch the game live, you see it differently, bro. You see it differently. Do you know how pissed off he got? Man was offside for 70 minutes of that game. You know, the Man City fans were like, get your ass on side. The man had to go to the channels. Man was like, you know what? I've got a better chance with Tomiyasu. Man didn't like that. Man was like, you know what? I've got a better chance with Kieran Tierney. Man didn't like that. You know what? Man did have no joy. Man had no joy. And you think William Saliba, bad man. Man, you're getting broke up. You know what? The only hope that City have is if they drop this man into a plan B and play their plan A in Alvarez. That's the only way they can.
Alvarez,
and I'm telling you,
Alvarez
this is an open-ended challenge to the Premier League. Stop us. Your referees can try and your teams can try. That league and that parade that's going to happen this summer, book it, because it is going to be.
Souls with the energy, bro. I'll get there, bro. I'll get there eventually.
Bro, you better come from Nigeria. You need to come from Nigeria. Bro, I'm coming. Bro, this parade is not to miss. If you get fired from work, it's calm, bro. It's cool.
But I've already got a flight booked, man. Deji says if we win the league, he's booking my flight, so I'm all set, bro. I'm all set.
He's now covering ours, so it's all good.
All right, now let's talk about Lokonga, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I want him to do well at Palace, but I wanted him to get a loan because this might be harsh. We have no use for him in the second half of the season. I don't know if you guys disagree. We have absolutely zero use for him the second half of the season. I don't want him playing any of the games in the Premier League. If he played in the Europa League, we basically are losing the game. And there's no other cup competitions that we're in.
Nope. This is the chance. This is the zone. This was the place. This is the coach. This is the guy with the Arsenal pedigree that can teach him. That's either going to make him or break him. Pressure either makes diamonds or busts pipes. It's time to put up or shut up. Like it's either you're going to make it at Arsenal or you're going to be out this summer. So like, show us what you got. You got 3 months. And you got Patrick Vieira to learn from.
Yeah, my issue is, the man's got a waste man mentality. Like, how do you sit down a documentary on All or Nothing and say, I need to start more?
Sulz ain't got no chill tonight, boy.
I know.
But you know the thing is, certain things pee me off, like they genuinely do, because you've got to understand they're in a position of privilege now. They might have not been when they were growing up, and they might have come from poor backgrounds, whatever, right? But if you're going to come to the Arsenal, bro, you're at Arsenal Football Club, regardless of what we've been like in the past 20 years or whatever.
It's the carpet,
You've
bro.
come to one of the biggest clubs, and you're sitting there on a documentary you know it's going to blow up, and you're demanding a starting position. Don't let alone you're trying to get over Thomas Partey, you're trying to get over the likes of Granit Xhaka, regardless of whether they're good or whether you rate those two midfielders or not. You're asking for a starting position. What Eddie and Ketty done is what I rate. And the thing is, I even said, if he doesn't score, it's fine, bro. It's fine. Bro, the guy's performances, his work rate, his pressing, everything he's being asked for.
Yeah,
his
but
game,
Sulz,
he's adapted. Lokonga, bro, the guy comes on, doesn't work hard, bro.
Brother,
You should have seen it.
That's the
man-
thing. You think
Is he playing
thing
a
with
6 or is he
Lokonga,
playing?
Nah,
You know
bro,
what he is? He's a linesman, bro. He plays like a linesman.
Now, the thing that gets me about Lokonga, he actually plays football like, I'm not going to try because you're not going to play me next game anyway. Like, what kind of like, he literally plays like that? Like, are you all right, bro? Like, what have you done to warrant to play that next game just because you had a little good cameo? Like, come on, bro.
You know what
Play
it is?
like you want it.
You're not gonna
With
stop.
Lokonga,
Like,
I
why
swear he
wouldn't
was-
you stop?
Playing at Anderlecht, being the main man there, being the
Captain, all that.
playing for Belgium, and like you got ahead of yourself. You thought you were someone that you're not. Do you know what I mean? And coming to Arsenal was reality check. You got to work hard, or you got to demonstrate your quality, bro. Because we're not Anderlecht.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but you know, realistically,
And you're not
what I
playing
think is going to
Genk on
happen is
Saturday.
similar to Conor Gallagher.
Real talk.
Yeah, Lokonga's going to have the Conor Gallagher thing where he's going to go there, and I've said it, I think he's going to ball out because there's a lot more space, there's a lot more time, because people are more open against Crystal Palace than they are against and now Arsenal. And Conor Gallagher, when he came back to Chelsea, he kind of realised that when he come back and he goes, shit, I've got no space again. Like, where do I actually... And that's why I don't know if this loan move actually is going to prove anything. But maybe what we'll get is his
confidence is what we need, bro.
Yeah.
You know
Learning.
what? I'll be surprised if Lokonga
Sierra
coaches.
University.
I'll be surprised if he does well. I'll be extremely surprised, but I hope he does.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like Brock Lesnar, you know.
Yeah,
I just hope he gets game time, like back-to-back minutes. Like, I just want to so we can really have a look at it.
I'm pretty sure they signed another centre midfielder today as well, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they only really have they play a double pivot and they have like 4 people who play in that double pivot, so they have room for one more person to rotate or to come off the bench.
But don't forget, like Eze is always injured as well. Like he's constantly in and out of the team.
I just want to know what Sambi playing 3 games in a row looks like. So I'll just be excited to see what that looks like.
He's got his chance to prove it if he gets given game time. Let's see.
Do you think they would send him there if he wasn't going to get game time?
No, but you can never tell with these loan moves, to be fair, bro. No, but you can never tell.
I mean, we sent Serge Gnabry to Tony Poulis' West Brom. So.
What's a L?
A man said he wasn't good enough.
That was one of the deciding factors on him leaving Arsenal. Let's be real.
Yeah. Real talk.
Can you imagine Tony Poulis come out and said he wasn't good enough?
But to be fair, he did.
Tony Poulis retired today. Oh, by the way.
The what?
He retired today.
I thought he was retired ages ago.
Tony.
He officially retired today.
Who was he managing last, Stephen? I couldn't tell you.
The Brexit campaign?
Brexit campaign.
No, it was a relegation club. I forget. Anyways, forget about Tony Poulis. You guys still have questions about Arteta? Or is everyone like... Because I feel like Arteta's going to
win the league, man.
Jorginho.
No, I've been Arteta in. So.
Go win the league.
Because a lot of people are questioning how Jorginho is going to fit in the team. And I put that to his defensive ability, and also people not thinking that Arteta might not have another plan for him.
I
got a feeling he's going to play at 8, more than he's going to play 6.
I hear you, but
what?
I just think there might be something
I don't. Wait.
Partey's
This is gonna be where he galaxy brings a Europa League win, right? So what he's gonna do, right? I'll tell you now. It's plain and simple. He's gonna play Odegaard, ESR, and Jorginho. He's gonna have Jorginho as the controller. He's gonna have ESR to be the attacking threat that Xhaka should be scoring goals in.
Souls, don't ever say that again, bro. Don't ever say such a midfield again. That scares the shit out of me. What ESR?
That's what he's meant to do. And then when the oppositions look at it,
I can't wait till ESR's fully fit, man.
Yeah, neither can I, man. Will it happen though?
Bro,
I'm nervous that it won't happen because
me too.
So quickly before he's been really unleashed, he's already got a setback.
Bro, we said this about Martinelli.
Okay, by the way, Tony Pulis' last club was Sheffield Wednesday. He got sacked in 2020.
Hey, bro, we were okay not finding her out. You go.
Anyways, where were we? We were talking about things.
Arteta. Do we trust Arteta?
100%.
By the way, what are our rotations? Because in my opinion, I completely disagree with Gunnar Souls. I think Jorginho is going to be the backup DM. I think it's going to be Fabio Vieira, Jorginho, and Xhaka. And I think Xhaka is going to play a lot of the games for the remainder of the season. And you're going to see the only time Xhaka really gets rest is when it's like the second leg where he plays Partey and Jorginho and Odegaard. Or you're going to see a situation where Jorginho is going to be the main substitute for Xhaka or Partey. And
What about this, guys? I reckon
and one
he
of the
might
guys are going to
play.
be playing 90 minutes.
I think he might play Zinchenko and Jorginho in the base.
Nah.
Never.
Nah.
There's a reason why we signed thing. Yo, Devo,
No, but we've not
in.
seen Zinchenko in the midfield yet, and apparently that's
Yeah,
one
we
of the
have.
reasons
He
came to
basically
Arsenal.
plays midfield.
He basically played
No, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, though. You know what I
No,
mean,
but
like,
that's what works, bro. It works like that. It doesn't work the other way.
I
So
think
Wax,
everybody's
Wax,
discounting
if you gotta
Kiwior.
go, just let me know, man. We're gonna keep it going for a little bit longer.
Yeah, all I was gonna say, I got like 5 minutes like him too, but all I was gonna say is people are really discounting the fact that Kiwior played more games at CDM for Spezia than he played at center back. So
He
I
played
think
20 games at CDM last year.
and he's great on the ball. And he's absolutely great on the ball. He's fluid. He's got great feet. He's an attacker when it comes to like getting the ball back after a possession loss. I think Kiwior is going to be the
Are
sixth.
you trying to tell me we signed two midfielders this week?
I think we signed some super versatile players
Hey.
that can fit, in multiple positions. And it's the same thing that we
Plot twist.
Well, we did the same thing with Tomiyasu and Ben White. Like you said, sign them for future positions or, for versatility. I think Kiwior is a diamond in the rough. I honestly think that kid's going to be a monster.
Can't wait.
I don't know enough about him, but what I'm hearing is good. So,
brother, all right, look at Tomiyasu, and look at his vertical passes. I'm telling you, Kiwior, yeah.
He's on the same.
Saka, bro. You know them games where Saka's a bit like FA Cup, yeah. Kiwior coming on, bro. Ake would have been lights out. I'm telling you.
Okay.
He's big. He's fast.
Okay.
He's.
Is he quick? Yeah. Is he quick?
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to know. Is he quick? Yeah. Okay.
He's got great instincts too. Like he's got a defender's instincts at all times. So he's one of the
my only
players.
concern is his aggression, because what referees are like
does get
giving
cards.
us cards.
He does get cards.
We only get like one chance. Like yellow card, red card, go fuck off.
He's a faster Granit Xhaka if we play him in that position. Like I honestly think like he could be that kind of player. He's played center back for Poland, but for his club he's played more CDM. So it's like I love signing a versatile.
That was Xhaka's a new role. I don't think Kiwior fits.
Say again?
Yeah. No, but if we play,
but Xhaka's a new role. I don't think it fits.
No.
What he's been in the past. But before we go, guys, anybody have anything closing statements to say? Everyone got a closing statement to say? Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm looking back at this window. I'm saying very unorganized. I don't think we had a master plan. We kind of just tried to see whatever opportunities we can get, and we came out of it with a half decent window. Not amazing, but half decent.
It was January.
Underwhelming, based off where we were. The highs of Mudryk and Caicedo. We ended off pretty underwhelming, but hey, it is what it is. I'm happy. In the long run.
Real quick on that though, Igal. It's not like we're upset about losing out on players from Real Madrid and PSG and Bayern Munich. We're upset about losing out on an unproven winger from Shakhtar Donetsk and who's fast. Like, granted, like love what I've seen, and he's got some great YouTube videos. But he did it in a league that's not as competitive. And we're talking about a 21-year-old who's got 20 senior appearances for Brighton at 80+ million. You know,
yeah, it's wild, bro. That's just wild,
bro. That's inflation. That's hyperinflation. That's insanity. So honestly, with the window and the resources and the opportunity and promise of Champions League football in the summer, I think the Cronkies are willing to spend, and I think the summer window is massive, especially once you lock down that top four and have UCL money flowing through the till. Bro, it's on and popping. Like the summer is the window to really be upset if we don't make moves. It's January. When
for sure.
Make moves in January.
Yeah, and we rarely do. And you see me, like I think a lot of the fan base will be encouraged if we see an Arsenal performance that's a top performance that doesn't involve Thomas Partey. That would give us so much more calm, because I've not seen one of those for time, innit? Like I would just love to see us perform well, even if it's like 30 minutes at the end of a game where we can take Partey off and the team looks like, ooh, they still look comfortable. I just want to see that. I just literally want to see that. Then I'll be like, okay, it's definitely coming to the carpet. But
Listen.
I'm going to stand on this. Arsenal winning the league. We're winning the league. It's coming. It's coming.
You've been off Europa. Now, here's a question. If you could win the league
we're winning both.
and been
What
off
do you mean
Europa.
win it off? We're winning both.
You think we're going to win both?
Yeah, we're winning
I
both.
reckon we can.
I reckon
we can
and we're gonna
because
bin
of
off
our
Europa.
squad depth now.
I say
think
we
we're
win the
gonna bin
league
off
and bin
Europa.
off Europa with kids. I'm sorry.
Zinchenko-
We're going to win it with the kids. Fam, don't worry about the first game.
Zinchenko-
Listen to
not
this.
played
Listen
one
to this.
game in the Europa League.
Zinchenko's winning us the Europa League, and Gabriel Jesus is winning us the Premier League. How about that?
Tell him.
Let's get it. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up there. Gunnar Sulz, you got one more thing to say?
Brother, listen, I told you, it's coming. I'm going to sleep peacefully, dreaming about the league. We'll get that parade sorted. We'll get that link up sorted. Bro, you know what, man? I'm happy, bro. I don't care. You know, the window is the window. I had my meltdowns. I needed to have it. You know, as an Arsenal fan, you have to have an annual meltdown. You just have to. Let it be a January window.
Yeah,
So it's done.
not a red
now.
card in a meaningful game.
Yeah, exactly. It's done now. So I can focus on the Everton. Everton, unlucky Sean Dyche. I know you're back. You're welcome. It's not going to be pretty, fam. It's going to be
Not
a
at
bloodbath. I'm telling you.
Yo, we're gonna win all our games when we get back to the games. By the way, I hope you guys know that. We're gonna keep this run is going. It's not stopping. The only game I can see us dropping points is against City at home, and even that, I think we're gonna win.
Amen. Inshallah. But we're not dropping.
I don't even think we're going to drop points to them, man.
Actually, let me promise you.
I'm not nervous at playing City at home, bro.
Haaland plays, guaranteed.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because last year we nearly got them with what we had. Now look at what we got. We can get them now, bro.
We dropped points to Southampton, and we dropped points to
Newcastle.
We dropped points to Manchester United and Newcastle.
Yeah,
forget it.
Nah, we finished Man U, bro. We've done.
But he asked who we dropped points to.
Just 1 second.
It
Our
was
next
Brighton,
game.
it was Brighton that we dropped points to.
No, we lost to them.
Nah,
We lost to them in the
Southampton.
I'm looking at Everton, win. Brentford, win. Man City, win. Aston Villa, win. Leicester, win. Bournemouth, win. I think we win.
Look, guys, I don't like to plan this far games ahead, so I'm not going to do it.
Match is a trap.
There's too many games to plan ahead for me, bro.
I'm telling everybody here on this.
We are winning the league, but one game at a time.
Yeah.
That Brentford
100,
match is a trap game. That Brentford match right before Man City is a trap game. Man can't be looking forward to the next matchup because we play that City match I think on a Wednesday. So it's literally like Saturday, Wednesday, or Sunday, Thursday. It's a quick turnaround in between.
All right, people, we gotta go. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Big up everyone who's watched the stream.
Yes,
Big up to all the men who jumped through. We're out of here, people. Peace.
Peace.